With nature as the blueprint, ecological solutions are emerging to overcome the challenges of the new century. A new generation of designers, inventors, and everyday heroes are leading us from something must be done to something we can do. They're answering questions most of us don't even know to ask.
The flag is flying in the corner. Steaks on the grill, we're drinking gasoline. In little houses by the freeway, we're living large in our American dream. Come on now.
Hi, I'm Claude William Genet, and this is Regeneration. We're here to showcase the innovative and inspiring solutions that are changing our world for the better. We all know there is a problem, right? So what are the answers? Come with us as we explore the designs that are turning wastes into resources, problems into solutions, and mindsets around. Welcome to Regeneration, the art of sustainable living. Welcome to Vermont. Yes, this is Vermont. Now the nice thing is, you don't have to travel very far to find examples of regeneration in action here. In fact, the first welcome center you hit off the highway has a living machine. What's a living machine? This is a living machine.
And the river ends, you leave the boat and find you walking.
When you walk in and you look down on it, what you see is the sewage being transformed through a number of different ecological processes to clean water and treat all of the wastes of the visitors, and there's over 1 million visitors a year.
You know, it's amazing. We're literally in a wastewater treatment plant, working without any chemicals at all. And yet the smell in here is like a tropical vacation. It's literally working beautifully.
The living machine was developed by University of Vermont professor John Todd. His ideas have gone on to help clean up a wretched canal in a large Chinese city, deal with the foul refuse of one of the largest chicken processing plants in the U.S., and have even transformed an insignificant pond to a showpiece of beauty and culinary delights in Hawaii. We caught up with Professor Todd in Burlington to learn more about his international success stories.
What exactly is a restorer?
The Restorer Eco Machine floats on the water, and it supports a wide variety of life forms that are water purifying, including higher plants. We were asked by the Chinese to build a restorer to try and treat the waste in a canal in the city of Fuzhou in South China. Now these canals are not ordinary canals, they're anything but. The city is one of these big cities that's growing up overnight, 1 million people, 1 million plus people, and all of the sewage just not treated. It goes straight into the canals and then is washed out to the river and then to the sea. And so we created one that's almost 1 kilometer in length and set about to transform these canals. So after about 9 months to a year, it really began to do the job. And after another 9 months or so, it became a officially approved technology for cleaning sewage-laden canals in China. We introduced 3 species of fish that the Chinese fish farm, and they did beautifully. In fact, they bred. And you could go along that canal, and at certain points you can reach down in the water and put up a glass, and it's clear. I mean, it's amazing.
I also heard you had something to do with a fancy schmancy resort in Hawaii that was cleaning the waters.
It's the Four Seasons Resort on the Big Island. And if you want to see a high-end resort, that's the place to go. They had a pond on the golf course called the 14th Hole, saltwater pond. And it didn't look too terrific. So we built 2 restorers for them, cleaned up the water. And then we said, well, now we've got this gorgeous pond, let's do something with it. So we introduced large numbers of oysters, Pacific white shrimp, and 3 species of marine fishes, all edible. And it became the epicenter for the chefs. In other words, we now had the restaurant going bananas. Here was their live food center and a big deal thing. There's one project that we've been involved in that's really very interesting. It's in Berlin, Maryland, part of the Chesapeake Bay watershed. Very threatened, as everybody knows, with agricultural contamination. There is a chicken processing plant that was owned by Tyson that was slaughtering over 1 million chickens a week, producing 1.25 million gallons a day of high-strength waste into this huge lagoon. They were out of compliance, and they were using hundreds of horsepower of energy to try and come into compliance. We designed and built for them a floating restorer. It was a mile long, and it snaked back and forth in a serpentine fashion the full length of the lagoon. It had on it 25,000 higher plants native to the area. It immediately, within a matter of weeks, began to bring the company into compliance. In the process, we were able to design it so that their electricity needs were reduced by 74%.
The work of Professor Todd, which began right here at the University of Vermont, is currently coming full circle through an innovative building design. Dr. Todd is working with UVM and a team of experts in the design of a living building that will treat its own wastewater, generate power, produce food, and serve as a model for sustainable architecture of the future.
Everything you've talked about so far proves that economy and ecology are not separate. So how do you respond to this notion? It's either environment or the job.
Oh yeah, the idea of we can't have ecology and economy is absolute bull. If any company worth its salt needs to get at least part of it on the cutting edge of ecological design now. We have to get a whole generation of young people at work as earth stewards. There has to be an economic engine derived from their activity. And once they see the connection between good work and a living, they get really very excited.
Conventional dams create the double trouble of both disrupting flow and accumulating sediment. Free flow hydro works with nature, not against it.
Everyone's concerned about global climate change and how's it going to impact our lives? And what are we going to do about it? And most importantly, what's all that got to do with a dairy farm?
Here at Yandow Farm in St. Albans, Vermont, Ted Yandow has teamed with Abe Collins to not only bring his farm back into the black, but to actually build soil, clean the environment, and, as we'll learn, affect global climate change.
Soil is the foundation of everything. Everything that we're doing on Earth doesn't happen without soil. And soil loss is, for every bushel of grain that we grow, we're losing 4 bushels of topsoil. So we just need to reverse that. For every bushel of whatever we grow, we need to make new topsoil.
I've asked the viewers, now I want to ask you, what the heck does organic sustainable farming have to do with global climate change?
We need to understand climate change, too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, as being a broken carbon cycle. The carbon cycle being broken means that all that carbon that used to be in the soil as fertility, as stable organic matter, is now in the atmosphere. And it's a pretty simple matter to return it. The numbers are so manageable, I find it very hopeful. We're at 380 parts per million carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We probably need to drop that 100 parts per million very quickly. Worldwide, all the land that we farm and graze currently, if the organic matter increased 1.6%, atmospheric CO2 levels would be at pre-industrial levels like that.